All right, that's a good point. Okay, I'm not going to say you're totally crazy. How dare you disrespect me in my own podcast and don't agree
Yeah,
with
that's
me.
okay. Well, somebody's got Paul's over there going, oh, yes, Christopher, that's so smart. Hey, Paul, come on, let's go.
Week 2, it's early. I don't like your dad's voice from me.
You don't like it?
It's kind of light and dainty. And
Yes, Christopher, you're so smart. Yeah.
I have to address that.
Yeah,
he's coming on later.
I guess
right?
that's what he thinks of you. You're just kind of dainty and soft that way.
You're just gassing the fire now.
You know
love
it.
that, yeah.
You know it. Well, I'm sure he doesn't like his voice that I have for him either. So that's, nobody likes their voice being.
I think yours for your dad is much more accurate.
You do?
Yeah.
I can't even do it.
You'll do it later.
Oh, yeah, I will do it later.
Organically.
I do. You're right. Now that I'm put on the spot, I can't do it. But we got a good one coming. Okay, episode number 70. It's deep dive film review. It's Wednesday. I've been locked in a cave for the last 48 hours. They let me out. Jonathan McDonald. I'm out of the cave. And now I'm ready to f***ing talk, and that's what I'm doing. Paulie Burmeister's here. We got the big coming up in a little bit. We're going to call him in about 30 minutes from right now. But we are going to get into our deep dives. We got deep dives, Saints, Seahawks, both sides of the ball, Eagles, Lions, both sides of the ball, Browns, Rams, both sides of the ball. And then I newsreeled what I call newsreel, and for everybody out there who just goes, what the hell is a newsreel? Because I think Paul was asking the same thing when he saw that on the text last week. He's like, what the hell is that? It means I watched the film. I didn't look at every detail in the world. I saw the themes of games and themes of sides of the ball, the big plays, and just things that jumped out to me, but maybe not into like, oh, they played the 3 technique right here on 3rd down like I do in some other games.
It's the Cliff's Notes.
It's the Cliff Notes. Yeah, exactly right. That's what it is, basically. And of those newsreel games, I will hit the Cowboys O and D because I think it's worth talking about. The Texans O, we will not talk about, even though that's on the run because that run down I didn't get
Crossing
to that.
it out.
Vikings offense, yes. Bears offense, yes. Panthers offense, the Kyle Allen show, yes. And the 49ers offense, yes. And that will be it. And then, like I said, we'll hit a little bit of make me feel better at the end with 3 teams, the Titans, the Falcons, and the Chargers.
That's a show.
So let's do it. That's a show. We got a lot of football to talk about.
Deep diving.
Yeah, let's deep dive. We're going to start off with the Saints-Hawks, right? Saints O, Hawks D.
Can we start, you said Saints offense?
Yeah.
Go to my Saints offense portion here. My number one question, it's a good place to start,
Yeah, good.
I think. How much did the offense change from Brees to Bridgewater?
Yeah, I think that's a great question. And I think the thing I would tell you more than anything is it didn't change. I think it was a similar offense, but watered down or dumbed down or simplified that way. I'll say that. Now, there's 2 reasons. I don't think you're going to put as much as on Teddy Bridgewater's plate, right? In his first start in a long time up in Seattle, which is, I mean, come on, the home of the 12th man. It's famous for a reason. Also, the reason I don't think we saw all the tricks in the bag of Sean Payton that he might have had for the game because the game didn't dictate it. Because they had the punt return for a touchdown, and then they picked up the fumble and returned that for a touchdown. They never really had to push the envelope on the offensive side of the ball and go, oh, we're in trouble, or oh, we're behind. They kind of controlled the flow of the game because of those early touchdowns and really just got into a kind of a smash mouth type of football game with the Seattle Seahawks.
So they had a lead. They've got a very good defense you like. We'll talk about that.
Yeah.
The special teams were strong. He also had something that some of these other early starting quarterbacks like Mason Rudolph didn't have. He had Alvin Kamara.
No question.
And Michael Thomas. And I went back and looked at some of the numbers. 19 completions.
Yeah.
14 of the 19 to Kamara and Thomas. So he had something in addition to his own experience that he brought to the table.
Yes.
And the play calling from Sean Payton. He had mismatches at 2 different positions that some other quarterbacks didn't have.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Sean Payton, I mean, is there a guy that's better at designing 4- and 5-yard completions to get the ball to Alvin Kamara?
Right.
I mean, even when, there was a few snaps in the game where the Seahawks knew it. They tried to double team him on a few plays and took him away. But certainly, I mean, that's when you play the Saints. You got to be ready to take away Kamara and Michael Thomas. It starts right there. On any big situation, you got to be ready to double one of them. And not necessarily because they're just like, oh, my gosh, it's so insanely talented. What are we going to do if they're man-to-man? No, just because of the way they're used within the offense and the creativity of Sean Payton and, a quarterback that knows what to do with the ball because of the coaching and all that, it is a great advantage for them. The other thing that just jumps out to me about the game, too, just to further it a little bit, and I never got into, we have to pass the ball a whole lot. But the one thing we need to discuss a little with the Saints is their O-line is phenomenal. they don't have to worry about, oh, we have to do this to protect this guy, or we have to do this to protect that guy. They can go into a place like Seattle and say, oh, okay, Clowney, okay, Ezekiel Anza, okay, yeah, good defensive tackles. Well, we don't have to help any of them. If we want to go one-on-one across the board, we're going to be fine. And I think that's a great advantage they have, especially when it pertains to Kamara, because then they can get him out of the backfield and free release him more, or not have to worry about, hey, stay in and help the guard out, or help the tackle out, or, just stay in to be an extra body. They don't ever have to do that because the O-line is phenomenal. And I do think that gets lost in convo sometimes with them in general.
It gets lost maybe because in the passing game, Drew knows when to get rid of it so much, or maybe some teams are afraid to come after him.
Definitely, too.
Makes me wonder, did you take notice more because of the change of quarterback?
No, I don't think I did. I think, I think Seattle went with the game plan of defending Seattle. Seattle went into a game plan defending the Saints and going, this is what they do, and we're going to try to stop it. Now, I'll say this. They had two things that really bothered me, okay? The game's 13-7. One of my pet peeves is overdoing it on the 5-man rush. And Seattle would be one of those teams I would go, they overdo it on the 5-man rush. But the game's 13-7, completely competitive at this point. The Saints offense has done nothing. It's the end of the first half. There's let me just make sure I got this right, like a third down, okay? It might have been 3rd and 4, 3rd and 5, somewhere in there. They rushed the middle linebacker, Bobby Wagner, to get a 5-man rush. Well, what do the Saints do? They throw what we would call in the West Coast offense a looky slant right over the middle. And, first down to Michael Thomas. Okay, how do you not take that away? I could have told you they're going to do that.
Right.
Okay? And what was the point of the 5th-man rusher, especially against a team like the Saints where you just talked about? You don't even study them on film. I'm not trying to be a jerk, but you see they get the ball out of their hand quick a lot of times.
Yeah.
So what's the point? Oh, gosh, you fooled them. And then a few plays later, the touchdown, the play to Alvin Kamara for the screen pass before the half to put them up 20-7. Guess what? 5-man rush. Bobby Wagner blitzes up the middle. Alvin Kamara kind of makes it look like he's in a block and then slips out. Bobby Wagner doesn't see him slip out because even though he's blitzing, I believe he's responsible still for him in coverage if he just free released or went out. But once he saw the fake block, he went green, I'm going to get the quarterback.
Right.
And touchdown. So that bothered me just as far as one little aspect of the game overall.
Which plays into something you wrote down that I circled a couple of times and highlighted. You said Seahawks defense playing the least amount of Seahawk coverage I've ever seen.
The least amount I've ever seen.
What's that mean?
And like with the Seattle scheme where I talk about it's a little overused in football, okay? I would imagine after the Bengals game week 1, where they had a number of Seattle beaters thrown at them and Andy Dalton threw over 400 yards, I have a feeling that the Seattle went back and went, you know what? I think we got to start changing things up finally.
Right.
And
personnel's a lot different.
No doubt. The personnel's different. You're not going to get away with that scheme anymore. It's not catching people by surprise. And, of course, they're not as talented. But I just thought throughout the game, I went, look at this. Like, I haven't seen Seattle coverage in 2 series, 3 series in a row. They're mixing it up, playing 2-man, playing quarter, half, playing Tampa too. So I thought that was refreshing, and I think it's only going to help them as the season goes along, just to get away from being so predictable with what they call on that side of the ball all the time.
Let's get to the other side, unless you have something else with the New Orleans offense,
No.
Seattle defense. Those are the highlights I had from.
Yeah, I think you're right. I mean, overall, I think if we just got to say Teddy Bridgewater played solid, did a lot of good things. I thought there was really only 2 dicey decisions all game long, but because of the turnovers and Seahawks D-line never became a factor in the game, which is always a worry for me up there in Seattle, because you get into those, oh gosh, we start to pass, we're in a shootout. Right. That's where Seattle puts you away, because now their front 4 can go, oh, it's loud, we're going to get the ball off the ball quick, everything's in our advantage to get the pass rush there, and it never got to be that kind of game.
Praise to Bridgewater for how he played, and a lot of praise around him. Special teams, defense, offensive line, like you pointed out.
Definitely.
It worked in a tough environment against a pretty good team.
Yep.
Against Dallas this coming weekend, they're likely, let's say they're down 14-3.
Right.
They're down 10-7. Can this formula work against the Cowboys?
No, they will have to open it up. I have a hard time thinking they're going to get 2. What do I want to say? Just special teams and defensive touchdowns to do that. You can't count on that, right? So, and I think, like I said, there's more offense to be had there with New Orleans. But, yeah, I don't think they're going to be able to play that style of football against Dallas, who, is in the conversation for the best team in football when we get to that, get to them later on in the podcast.
My headline from what you wrote down on the other side of this matchup, Seattle offense, New Orleans defense, The Saints out-hit the Seahawks.
Right. That's rare.
That's not to be overlooked.
No, it's not. That's one of the things. I think we all put the Saints in, it's Drew Brees and Sean Payton and their offense and its passing yards. And one of their greatest attributes is they are physical as shit on both sides of the ball. And that's why they are a good running team, because they come downhill and Sean goes, we're going to smash your face in. And then I'll screw you up with the pass game later. Same with the Saints on defense. The Saints defensive line is the real deal. And I know statistically they're not like top 10 as far as run-stopping defenses go right now. I know the Rams hit a few plays on them. Week 1, so did the Houston Texans, but I looked at those as almost like game planning, Week 1 type things, along with Deshaun Watson running the ball. That skews the stats a little bit. But in this game right here where they went, you're Seattle and you want to play smash mouth against us and you want to pull guards, bring it on. And you got to be crazy to call too many run plays up the middle against the Saints defense. We talked about it, I know, last week. The Rams said, the hell with the middle of the Saints defense. We're going to run on the edge the whole game. And that's what they did. The Seahawks kind of just said, we're the Seahawks. We're used to bullying people at home. And that's just not going to go down with the Saints. The Saints out-hit Seattle in Seattle. They beat Seattle. That's Seattle's game.
Out-Seattled.
Seattle. In Seattle. Yes, they did. Yes, they did.
Strength of the defense.
Right.
The front, the middle, or the back end?
I got to say the front four. The front four is special to me because they are deep. They have good pass rush, not maybe great pass rush, but they have a lot of defensive tackles and size no matter what to get into any type of game. So, we need pass rushers there. We got Davenport and Cameron Jordan. Okay, we're going to give you a lot of problems. But we want to get big, and you want to try to bring in extra tight ends and do that? Okay, well, they can get big. And the one guy I got to give some props to, because this is a new guy that's popped to me over the first few weeks. And I'm going to mess up his name because I want to say it backwards. Rookie, number 99, undrafted, Shy Tuttle, okay? I want to say Ty Shuttle, but it's Shy Tuttle.
You say his number.
Yeah, but number 99. He's a guy, I'm just going to put him on everybody's radar. Watch out for him. He's a havoc. He is a beast in the middle of that defense. Double teaming, throwing people off him, shooting gaps, but got great athleticism for a guy that I believe is about 305 pounds. Undrafted rookie out of Tennessee. Just wanted to give him some love.
How's their ratio, since we've hit this a lot with other teams the first couple, 3 weeks?
Yeah.
With being maybe over-aggressive versus being conservative?
Yeah, they are a hair over-aggressive to me with the Saints. My biggest issue with the Saints defense, I think, in general, would probably just be they play too much man-to-man coverage. They do. They give you too many chances to go, it's one-on-one, and if you don't get a good jam on the line of scrimmage, then we're going to be in trouble down the field. It's just too much of that to me. And I don't know if they're a team that necessarily has to do that. With the big suckers they have up front, I think they can collapse the pocket and kind of just go make the guy pat the ball a little bit and play zone coverage, make the quarterback think. I don't think they make the quarterback think enough on the back end. They give him too many, it's pre-snap. Yep, it's man-to-man. Set hut. Okay, I know where I want to go with the ball. It's pre-snap. They're in two-man. I see it all the way. Bam, okay, I know where I want to go with the ball. Before the ball snap, they already have a good feel. And I just don't think they make quarterbacks uncomfortable that way.
So mixing up zone coverages against Dak Prescott would be better than loading up a man and coming out.
Definitely. Because first off, Dallas can protect. Number 2, Dallas can run by you. And I would more want to I don't need to see if Dak can throw the bomb to Amari Cooper. I think he's verified that is possibility. He can do it, and he can do it really well. What I want to see is, can Dak be patient against 3- and 4-man rushes and you flood zones and things like that? Can he be patient that way and not be overly aggressive or try to fit balls into windows and stay in the pocket and do what you need to do? That would be a big thing for me.
And we're going to talk more about the Cowboys in the Newsreels / Cliff Notes version coming up here in just a little bit.
Yep, we are. I just want to make sure we don't miss anything with the Saints defense. Yeah, you said it, out-hit them. The third down and fourth down in the, third quarter, Seahawks trying to go for it, tried to run up the middle against the Saints.
Yep.
Just not going to happen.
Yeah.
Okay, and I'm still disappointed with the the Seahawks passing offense. I am.
Too basic?
It's just too. I wrote this at the end, and we'll go on to the next game. Hawks passing offense is just a series of deep shots and of plays in the pass game. There's very, if any, easy completions for Russell Wilson. Now, they'll throw a wide receiver screen, but my problem with even stuff like that is they waste plays a lot of the time as far as what they do. They'll throw certain concepts into bad looks. They'll run plays and running plays into outnumbered boxes, or just things that I've been taught through my years of whether it was in New England or with Gruden, where you go, you don't run this run play against this look. They just say, screw you, we're going to do it.
Right.
And I think they waste a lot of offense that way. So, yeah, to me, that bothers me in general. And even saying all that, they had a chance in this game.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, gosh, it's 27-14. It's 10 minutes left in the fourth quarter. It's 4th and 1 on the 30-yard line. And another example of they don't have enough easy completions, because when it's 3rd and 4th and short, they throw the ball 40 yards down the field. They never go oh, we have a 3-yard completion to get to Russell. Oh, we got a 5-yard slam dunk. It's oh no, it's 4th and 1. Everybody run straight again. Yeah. And Russell will just throw it to you. Well, he missed a corner route on that one. I don't know if you saw it in the back corner of the end zone. That would have made the game 27-21 and made it very interesting.
I think your notes about that, I don't have it, I'm paraphrasing here, but in that situation, in that 4th and 1, you wrote down, are you serious? You had all week to game plan and get ready and have something ready on 4th down and 1, and this is what you have?
Yeah,
throw it deep?
Exactly right. You don't have a bunch of 2-point plays or things like that where you go, this is our 4 or 5 plays this week when we need a cheap 2 or 3 yards. This is what we're going to do. No, they don't have it. And that's where I just go back to, they rely on Russell Wilson too much and his talents. And you know what? He gets you out of jams 9 out of 10 times.
Most of the time,
But when you play good teams sometimes and maybe the rest of your team messes up here and there, he can't get you out of every jam.
My summary of that game from what you wrote down, your praise of the Saints defense eclipsed that of what you thought of the offense, which I think is worth pointing out because the Saints have always been led by the passing game.
Yes, right, they have.
Just listen to you the last few minutes. You're talking in a positive way about the line on both sides of the ball, where when Drew Brees comes back, if the best part of this team, if I'm hearing you the right way, is the offensive and defensive line anyway, watch out.
Watch out. If they can weather this storm and just stay, relevant here while he's out, they're made to be a pain in the ass, and they're made for playoff football because they can match up against any style of team. And they're not going to be oh, gosh, this is a bad matchup for us. I mean, there's going to be some that are better than others, but there's no team that's just going to totally mismatch them to where we're going to go, whoa, they're in Troublesville this week.
Elsewhere in the NFC, before we talk about Lions, Eagles specifically, we're going to go to one of the news departments.
Okay.
In Philadelphia, kind of accidentally / organically happened.
Yeah.
We have an expert breakdown of Detroit, Philadelphia before we get into the X's and O's. Take a listen.
Old co-workers took the ladder off the truck, raised it up, and was assisting people down. My man just started throwing babies out the window. Wow. We was catching them, unlike Aguilar.
Just did it so seamlessly. Just threw it out there, didn't even break stride.
They're some of the greatest sports fans in the world there, because there's a real dire life moment, but he still hasn't forgot about Aguilar dropping freaking passes. He's going to say, yeah, I saved babies all day, and there's a fire engine behind me. But Aguilar can't catch the freaking ball. I just love that. That was one of the all-time clips.
And apparently he's got some humility and sense of humor. I've heard that he's offered free tickets, has reached out in a kind way.
He has. Very nice. Good job by him doing reverse psychology on the situation and going, oh, yeah, you want to crap on me because I keep dropping the ball? Hey, come to the game. So maybe this will make you feel better and you'll stop crapping on me.
Let's start with the Eagles offense, if that's all right with you. They kind of hit hard times.
Yep.
And my number one worry or concern there, question I had for you, what are they missing on that offense now that they don't have? They haven't had Deshaun Jackson.
Yeah.
And also Alshon Jeffrey.
Yeah, I think that's the million-dollar question, right? Because I've had a few people ask me that. I mean, what does that do for them? And, okay, this is why, again, I love Doug Peterson. I love I love him as a head coach, and I love the play caller, Doug Peterson, too. Mm-hmm. I do. But this is why I sometimes say he's not in the McVay, Sean Payton, Shanahan, Josh McDaniels class of OCs. He's that next group down. He's not there. And why I say that is because his offense has everything, but it's more about the players than the plays, if this makes sense, okay? Where McVay, Shanahan, McDaniels, they can crack the code on a weekly basis. And it doesn't matter if it's Edelman this week. Oh, no, it's our other random white guy that you've never heard of. He's open over the middle. We don't know how, why, how do they do it? Well, it's because they can crack the code on the defense and what they're doing and attack the rules that you've heard me talk about.
Yeah.
And yes, of course, they miss the better players. Like, yeah, if the Patriots don't have Edelman and the other guy that's got to come in and catches the ball, he might not make the most of it after the catch or do things like that.
Right.
But regardless, they're going to be open. And I can say the same thing with Shanahan and McVay and Sean Payton. Like, they're going to get guys open. It doesn't matter if you're playing receiver or if it's Michael Thomas. They're going to do it.
Speaking of Michael Thomas, though, going back to the game we just talked about, the Saints, and what a nice job Teddy Bridgewater did. And Sean Payton is a terrific play caller.
Right.
But according to this theory here, if he didn't have Michael Thomas, if he didn't have Alvin Kamara, Bridgewater still would have had a good time or had a good game because the play calling is so good.
Because he would have found another guy to go, I'll feature this freaking. Oh, that's right. I got Jared Cook over here.
I don't know.
Well, I'm just telling you, I do know, okay? I mean, listen, we've been saying New England never has good receivers, right?
Right.
And yet they're always open. Every year I just look at film and go, he's open and never heard of him. He's open and never heard of him. Oh, he came from what college? 7th round pick. He's open. Never heard of him. I mean, it's the same thing with the damn Sean Payton and them. I just did. Oh, Marquise Colston's a slot receiver. Damn, he was doing the same thing Michael Thomas is doing a few years ago. So is it as good without those guys? No, I'm not trying to say that. But where I'm getting to the point with Philadelphia is they are not necessarily a game plan specific team as much as the other ones. Where Payton, McVay, Shanahan, McDaniels, they're going to come into a game and go, I got like 9 or 10 plays that are just going to fuck their world up today.
Doesn't
like
matter
it's
who's
going to. It
running.
doesn't matter. The rules are going to be busted. Philadelphia comes into a game and goes, this is our offense. We got everything. We like these group of plays this week against what they do defensively. But they're not necessarily game plan specific. Like, they didn't change the plays for the opponent they play. What they will do is, okay, this is a play we run all the time. Hey, this week, Carson, if you see this coverage when we do call this play, put an alert on it on your playbook. Or we just want you to alert it. If we get cover 4 and on this play this week, Deshaun Jackson's running the post route, then we just want you to figure it out and then throw it deep to Deshaun Jackson, right? And that's where they miss that. They miss the little bit of the one-on-one element that they put within their offense, and it kind of comes naturally within the plays, and they don't have those guys there either. Like, hey, they're going to call the same plays they'd called last week on Thursday night against the Green Bay Packers, but it sounds like he's going to have Alshon Jeffrey, and a few times he's just going to go, oh, coach told me when I got one-on-one with Alshon and I do this, I throw it to him. And he's just going to throw it to him. It's not like it was a game plan design play like, oh, it's one-on-one and Alshon, you run straight and Carson, you throw it to him. No, it's just kind of normal within the flow of the offense. And that's where they get hurt by Deshaun Jackson and Alshon Jeffrey not being in there because they lose those little matchup elements that just kind of come within the natural flow of the plays they call offensively anyways. I hope that made sense.
It does make sense.
It makes sense?
People don't have to agree with it.
Yeah,
but
right.
It does make sense.
Yes.
Let's take that, spin it forward to Thursday night.
Right.
No Deshaun Jackson, likely Alshon Jeffrey, like you pointed out. What would you like to see them do differently against this defense, which the last couple of weeks we've been very high on?
Yeah, well, the defense is phenomenal. They can play you man-to-man across the board and really make life hard on you. I mean, that's the first thing. So, like, if you think you're going to, get easy completions against Green Bay on 3rd and 5 and 3rd and 6 and stuff like that, you're not. So, like, some of your little short crossing routes and things like that, they're not going to be there. I mean, just some of that stuff they're going to take away. And then, let alone, Pettin's pretty good at dialing up the right zone coverage when he needs to, too. And they rush the passer. All right, but, I mean, things that, again, let's see. What do I want to say here? I want Philadelphia under the center more. That's another thing I wrote. Under the center, they went under the center the second series, play action pass, 30-yard gain. I mean, then we don't go to it. I don't see it again for 40 plays. I don't understand it. I just sometimes look at teams and go, do you see the results you're getting when you're going underneath center? And do you see that then you get away from it and nothing good happens like that for a long, long time? So that bothers me. I guess... Let me just without those two guys, they're really having a hard time finding the explosive plays I've talked about, and that's where you talk about Thursday to spin it forward. They need to find more ways that way. This is where I would go. Mike Groh, Doug Peterson, they got to go into the lab and not just go, this is our offense and we have everything, and within our offense, things and plays will develop. I think they need a few we're going to call this on when we get a 2nd and 7 because we feel like they play this defense and we're going to draw up this play this week to screw it over and create a big play. That's what they need to do. even the end of the game, you saw the drop pass by J.J. Arcega-Whiteside. That wasn't like a called shot. Again, it's a play where they ran that play 5 times during the day. But he finally saw the coverage to go, ooh, I got it, what I want to throw that shot. Let me throw it. So that's what I mean by what they do on the offensive side of the ball. I just think that's about it for that one. I don't know, anything else jump at you from my notes?
From that part of it, no.
Yeah.
What I think about most of the Philly offense, I wanted to know what you saw that they're missing without those 2 guys. And I think spinning it ahead to Thursday was what I wanted to do the most. If Green Bay is going to play a lot of man-to-man, who do you have Philadelphia-wise outside of Jeffrey that really can be the man-to-man coverage?
Right. I mean, Mac Hollins is, I think, the next guy I look at to go, like, as far as a down-the-field threat, deep guy. I think he's the next guy as far as, like, can scare you.
What about Ertz against those safeties?
Yeah, Ertz against the safeties, okay. But they're not going to pressure. He's not going to pressure. I mean, there's a reason the guy had 140 catches yesterday and last year and barely got to 1,000 yards.
Right.
It just tells you they want to use him anywhere from 5 to 12 yards over the middle. He's not going to get explosive plays like against that. That's not the kind of guy he is. So that's my big thing is they just have to find ways to finagle a few explosive plays because they can move the ball. And their offense has everything, like I said. I just wish they would run the ball down the hill a little bit more. I always say that about them. Also, we got to give the Lions defense a little credit. I mean, Lions defense, the one thing I'll say about them, they're not going to mess up. They're well coached. They're going to throw a few curveballs at you in some situations where Matt Patricia goes, ooh, they like to do this on 3rd down. Oh, I got the 2 guys they like to kind of work on this play on 3rd down. They're doubled. He'll do a few curveballs that way, but they're not overly talented defense, but they're big up front. You're not going to gash them in the run game. He's not going to call anything crazy stupid on the defensive side of the ball. He's going to go, no, we know what we're doing. We're going to play sound. You're not going to run the ball. Let's see if you can go 10-play drive, 75 yards touchdown, 12-play drive, 75-yard touchdown. And what happened in the game this week? It didn't happen because there they were. Oh, man, we're going down the field. We're the Eagles. Nelson Aguilar fumble. Oh, field goal Detroit Lions. Next drive. Oh, we're going down the field again. Oh, Miles Sanders fumble. Boom. There you go. Oh, now another field goal. The Eagles, there was 13 points given up, and their defense didn't have anything to do with it. And I think that's got to be taken. But I do give the Lions a lot of credit for the way they play. He has figured out what works for his team, Matt Patricia, and I think that has to be noticed. I mean, they're undefeated. They have not lost the game.
They haven't lost the game yet.
They're 2-0-1. And
I'd like to hit their offense.
Yeah, and then this is what we're going to get to because it's the last thing I'll say about their defense. They're like their offense. The thing I like about the Lions, they're physical, they're patient, and they're going to make offenses earn it. They don't take chances, and they're sound in the run and pass game, and a few little wrinkles, like I said, and I think that's great because it's complementary football to what they're same way on the offensive side of the ball as we go to that.
Right.
It's not take a lot of chances. We're going to run the ball. We're going to have a game plan play here or there just to kind of screw you over. And because of the way he's coaching them, I do think he's, made them a legitimate threat in the NFC.
You're talking about he being Matt
Patricia. Yeah, I do, yeah.
So boiling it down to the offense, because this is the first time I think that we've really talked about the Lions offense.
Yeah.
Just taking a step back, Darrell Bevell is in as the offensive coordinator after 7 seasons in Seattle. You talk about getting used to a team that had an identity with the system, with Russell Wilson and how strong that defense was. So major adjustment for Bevell after being out for a year after those 7 seasons. And I want to start right here. You said Stafford has adjusted to a new style of play.
He has because, he's been –
What part of it's new to him?
Well, this what we running on first and running on second, and now you need me to make a throw on third. I'm used to just put me in the shotgun and I throw it every play. And it's a street backyard football again. I can just sling it anywhere and have no conscience. And and we'll probably be down in the 4th, but don't worry, guys. I'll make it happen and we'll win again. And I do think he's adjusted. He showed me through 3 weeks. He understands about when to take a chance, taking care of the football. He's just playing. He's playing quarterback the way Tom Brady had to play it back in 2003 and 2004. And it's a culture change for him because he's never had to be that guy. And I think he has adjusted to it. He showed us that the first 3 weeks of the year. And this was a great example of it in this game.
He's still super talented, fitting it into tight windows.
Whoa, my gosh. Some of the throws he made in the game were phenomenal. I don't care if it was 201 yards. It's the quality of when some of those completions happen and the quality of throws to make it happen.
Right.
It still can't go unnoticed, even though it doesn't look that sexy on the stat sheet.
You bring up his stats. He was 18 to 32 for 201, 1 touchdown, no picks.
Yeah.
If you're a real Lions fan and you win with that, that's fantastic. How many times the last 8-9 years has Matthew Stafford been 29 to 57 for 400 yards and they end up losing?
Right.
I mean, it's kind of a fun watch.
Kind of, yeah, right.
But to have them win and he's just solid, that's a giant step in the right direction for them.
Giant step. I think it's the best thing for their football team. And like I said, they're playing complementary football, too, to where the offense matches the defense, and usually good teams are built that way.
And I wanted you to, I wrote that down, complementary football. Like, it's a really nice compliment to pay people, but I always want to hear more specifically. So take it a couple levels more specifically.
Well, they just believe in physicality, patience. This is what we do. We're going to be sound doing it. We're not going to take chances on either side of the ball. We think you'll mess it up, and we're just going to continue to kind of stay with what we do. I mean, they don't get away from the run game. That's the first I wrote. I mean, there's two things that jump out at me. They are not going to get away from the run game. They are going to continue to pound it in there. I don't care if there's no holes. I mean, Kerryon Johnson ran the ball 20 times for 36 yards.
Right.
So if that doesn't tell you patience in the run game, I don't know what does.
Keeping the offense on schedule, no matter how many yards he's getting.
Yeah, and he's going, I'm not going to let this Eagles D-line tee off on Matt Stafford. I'm going to let my own line continue to kind of impose their will, And then because on the defensive side of the ball, he can play, he can play field position and all of that. But that, and then, the other thing, I wrote two things that jump out with the run game patience, and Stafford makes just some great throws into really tight coverage.
Always.
We only ran for 2 yards on first and second down. Well, third down, okay, I'm Matt Stafford, and you're paying me $25 million. I can throw that curl in there, even though it's really tight. Right. I can unleash the howitzer and squeeze it in. And I think, there is something to this. It's not always easy playing quarterback in that style of offense.
Right. And it's, as you pointed out very well, it's a big change for him.
Yep.
I want to ask you this question that you wrote down in your notes that you didn't get a chance to answer.
Right.
That you would love to actually answer it. If Lions cannot run, can they depend on Darrell Bevell's passing game?
That is my number one question of there.
What makes you most cynical?
Well, their run game has creativity and their patience, but the pass game is a little, it's basic. I don't look at the pass game through 3 weeks and go, ooh, they're doing some cutting-edge stuff, or this is really cool. They got a lot of the basics in, and it's not like I'm sitting here going, this is the worst pass offense I've ever seen.
Do you recognize it from when Darrell was in Seattle?
Yeah, it's maybe a little bit better as far as how he ties together plays better, I think, with the run game and some of the play action they're doing now. But I just worry that somehow they get into a game and whatever, some turnovers happen, their kick returner fumbles the ball, punt got blocked, and all of a sudden they look up and they go, damn, we're down 24-7, and it's just like, not that we just messed it up. Can they really get in the shootout and come back that way? I don't know about that. I need to see more evidence first before I can say yes or no to that. Other thing that needs to be noted, Eagles defense. Eagles defense played good enough to win this game. Let's just get that straight. We just talked about 36 yards off 20 attempts in the run game, 200 yards only in the pass game. I mean, hey, the Eagles held them to 287 yards.
Right.
Eagles offense this game over with the 2 fumbles and then the special teams letting the kick return go. And you know what? I mean, sometimes I watch the Eagles film and I go, I think Jim Schwartz is listening to the podcast because what he didn't do this week, okay?
Not as aggressive?
No.
Yeah.
And they were phenomenal. I mean, that's why their stats weren't great. They didn't let them have there's no safety or it's man-to-man and Stafford can just throw a bomb up in the air and we'll see what happens. Right. There was none of those opportunities afforded to them. Because you're not too aggressive blitzing and stuff like that too, you don't get gashed in the run game. Mm-hmm. You don't get one guy like, oh, we're blitzing this gap, and then you get like a run block down, and all of a sudden you got 3 guys in one gap, and you go, damn, there's a huge hole there. And I'm going to go, well, yeah, you tried to blitz, and everybody got caught up, and now there's a giant hole that a truck can go through. So I thought that was encouraging.
I think I also want to point out, listening to you there, that they didn't have a single sack and didn't have a single pick, that sometimes stats are just misleading and don't mean anything because you are hard to please defensively.
I am.
You pointed out how Philadelphia's been a little too aggressive,
right?
Been at their best.
Yep.
You said they played a very good game.
Really
Some
good
of the
game.
numbers people look at to judge that weren't there.
Yeah.
So that's
because they're just going to look at it and go 27-24. They must have not played well.
Right.
Yeah, and I want to go, no, I mean, 20 for 36 would be the thing I would tell you. 20 rushes for 36 yards for one of the better running backs in football.
Hard to be much better.
Right. Matt Stafford, 18 for 32, 201 yards.
Pedestrian,
right. So he had the right formula. Hey, the thing that stinks about the Eagles a little bit, and where Schwartz, I give him a lot of credit, he's in a little bit of a bind. They can't rush the passer.
Yeah.
And that bothers me. Fletcher Cox is not Fletcher Cox right now. I got to think the toe injury or whatever it is. He's still good, but he was like one of the ultimate the play-up kind of guys.
You notice it on film?
Yeah, he's not that right now. He's good. He's not a weakness. He's still really good. But he was a guy I could turn on the film on a weekly basis and go, there's going to be 8 or 10 plays in here where Fletcher Cox is going to ruin the offense altogether. Okay, cool. I think we hit it all there, and for the most part, I thought Schwartz was more creative with the zone coverages, as I talked about. I mean, he really did a lot of good things.
More creative with zone coverage is better than more aggressive with zone.
Yes.
I'm sorry, more aggressive with man.
Yes.
For sure.
Yes.
I agree totally.
Yep. And it helps you out in a lot of different ways, but
gives a little indecision to the quarterback. Most of the quarterbacks are fine standing in against pressure.
Yes.
It's when they're not quite sure.
Right. Oh, gosh.
That's the problem.
Did this guy blitz? Did he drop out? Oh, wait, did I really see the safeties and what they did with the disguise? Like, because I was kind of looking at the line of scrimmage and they dropped people out, and that's how you confuse a quarterback. You're not going to confuse the quarterback by, well, we blitzed the 5th rusher off the edge and we showed it the whole pre-snap so they can get ready for it and get to the perfect play. Oh, my gosh, how did you come up with that in game planning all week?
5th rusher is through 3 weeks the biggest pet peeve you have.
But that, yes, and overman
the
demand. But, yeah, you're right. The 5th rusher, because I just see it happen too much. Oh, we're going to rush 5 so we get 5 one-on-ones. Oh, gosh. I know, because they're just going to be overwhelmed, 5 across the board. And they're not going to have a way to throw the ball short or do anything like that either in the play. I mean, we're just going to roll the dice that it won't be the right play call either.
So bring 6 or don't bring anybody.
Yeah, it's just you're wasting your time with that. Or bring 6, blitz, force the issue, or you rush 3 or 4 and see if you can get home and try to confuse the quarterback. All right, without further ado, Philip Martin Simms is here, okay?
That's right. I'm here waiting on you two.
I thought we were waiting on you this time.
I heard y'all talking to each other there, whatever. Oh, well, I think we covered it all. No, you didn't cover it. No, you didn't, but that's okay.
No, I think Paul, sometimes gets through my notes and he's like, you covered more than enough. I've had enough talking about this team or this subject. Let's move on.
Hey, listen, I'm a neurotic. I watch a game and I write on the offense and defense. I get a page of each, and I go, oh, my God, I got to turn it around and do the other side. and then I just go, there's no way I'm going to use any of this or all of this. So that's the way it goes. But you know what? It's in my head. And one day it'll come out. I don't know when, but it'll come out.
That's right. I'm the same way. I write it all down just because I know at some point it's going to become useful. Okay.
Yeah, like on Showtime. Did you see the Showtime show?
I did not see your show yesterday.
No, I watch all your stuff. You never watch mine. That's okay.
You're full of crap. I watched all your Showtime show the first 2 weeks.
Well, this week was really good.
Okay.
It was the best.
What made it so good? How come it was so good?
We just had some fun talking about different subjects. I think my opening comment was, raise your hand if you I don't know if you disagree. Did you think Christian McCaffrey was going to be an every down running back in the NFL? And of course, nobody thought he was really going to have an impact as an every down running back, which he has done even better than you can ever expect, I think.
Right. Yeah.
And then I said Dalvin Cook's the best running back in the NFL. Shut up, Michael Irvin. I don't want to hear about Dallas because you're wrong. Dalvin Cook's the best running back right now in the NFL.
I like it. It's hard to disagree right now. I think you're right, Dad. I mean, I haven't really thought about it in those terms, but you're right.
Hey,
Through 3 weeks, he's the best in the game.
I got a better term for you.
Yeah.
Think of Dalvin Cook as this. Okay, who went out there and started helping coach in Minnesota?
Gary Kubiak. Right.
Does it not look like Mike Shanahan and
Terrell Davis
running the football?
Yeah.
Run, cut, go. I mean, no hesitation ever on a run. It's never do his feet go sideways. It's plant, go every play, and it is.
And
man, can he get through there fast?
Yep, he can. He's one of the MVPs of football right now, really.
Oh,
for
he
what
is.
He's done with that team.
And my last one was, what else did I say that I kind of liked? I just said, hey, I got some info. I give everybody, some information, or I want to help you out. Josh Allen, Daniel Jones, get down.
Right.
You can only take so many hits.
Yeah.
And they both. Josh Allen has gotten much better this year. There's no question.
Right.
But still, he takes a few hits that he just doesn't need to take. And then Daniel Jones, I don't know if he's going to have much choice. He's going to get hit.
Yeah. He doesn't seem to be fazed by it, though. That's the good thing. I mean, he's fearless in the pocket. I'll say that much for him.
His movement or his reading of the defense and making decisions were so fast, and I got to tell you, his getting rid of the football looked faster here this game than it was in preseason, which I thought was really good.
Yeah, I agree, Dad. It did. He was extremely decisive and quick release and throws a perfect spiral every throw. That's the other thing. I mean, he really spins it and throws a catchable ball.
Right.
Even the throw where it could have been intercepted by the safety, I don't know which one it was for. First off, let me just to talk about this. Tampa Bay was all over him. In other words, I thought Tampa's defenders were covering the receivers well.
Yeah.
It's just the timing and throwing was almost to perfection. They made some good catches. He made some great throws. But he got hit. But Tampa Bay was all over it. Then they blitzed, and he hits Evan Ingram, and he got rid of it. The free blitzer, free runners coming, touchdown.
5-man rush, I'd like to add.
Yep, 5-man rush.
Pointless.
And then he moved in the pocket once to create the opening across the field to Darius Slayton. Otherwise, he's not going to be open because that safety is just going to stand there.
Right. Yeah.
But when he moved left, so it was I was really impressed with Daniel Jones, but I still was impressed with Tampa's defense, how down that goal line, Paul, if you watch it really close, hey, all 4 downs, you tell me where he's going to throw that football.
Yeah, right.
I mean, they had it like we know the play or whatever. They did a great job, and we did everything but what? Who's got the quarterback?
Yeah, that's right. And
that was
exactly.
That'll be a new. Well, no one's had to think about that in New York for 17 years, so now they got to think about it when they play the Giants.
We texted during the week a little bit, Phil, about the start, and I think you said, and I agreed, that they will give him some easy throws and get him started in a confident kind of way. It impressed me the most that they called plays like they trusted him like he was a 30-game starter. I mean,
right away.
Yeah.
And you know what? There just wasn't. Tampa wasn't going to play him, let him just to get back there and get the easy throws. So I think the fact that he just got rid of it so quick and against some blitzes and things like that, and he took chances. Now, look, there's going to be some rough times ahead, and I'm not going to make any bold predictions. If the Giants win 5 games, what would you say if they win 5 games?
I would go, Dan, that's a good year right now.
We would have said that before.
Paul, what do you think?
I would hope for more now. Wouldn't you?
He's not going to play defense. Okay? So, and 2 things have to worry you. That, to me, the hits he took, I know Tampa's front is this little secret
it's
something nobody talks about.
Yeah.
Watching TV, Tampa Bay, they stink. Well, then you're an idiot. Again.
Yeah, I mean, they got Shaquille Barrett, who's leading football in sacks. The Vita. What the hell is his name? Vita Villa or Villa?
Vita Villa.
Vita Vea.
That's Lucy. That's an old Lucy.
Yeah, but I mean, him in the middle, Sue in the middle. I mean, you're right. It's a very under the radar, very good D-line.
And it's not like Carl Nassib is like some throwaway.
Right.
I mean, he played pretty well in Cleveland. I don't understand why they got so many guys up there. They didn't need him, but yeah, their secondary covered well. But what I say, Paul, why 5 is just because the way the defense can 3 straight games now. They have been consistent.
Right.
That's for sure.
Right.
And that's bad.
Are you saying 5 total, Phil, or 5 from now?
I think I hate to put things like that, but 5 total would probably be okay. I don't know. I didn't look at their schedule tough, but boy, they're just not slowing people down.
Yeah, they're not slowing people down. Can they run the ball? For one.
I wish they had the one thing. The other. People. I was talking to Bart earlier today, Bart Scott and Maggie Gray down on WFAN, and I said, I wish the Giants' backup running back was just some big plugger.
Yeah.
Just smash it in there and get me 2.
Right.
Or get 3. But they don't have that guy, and because that would really help. when you're trying to when you have to throw the ball a little more, and you probably want to. But as I've said to you, Christopher, and to Paul, to you too, that the Giants do have a pretty good selection of plays and ways to get the football down the field. They've shown that in the first 3 games. So first and foremost, protect the quarterback, and let's see what happens with the team from there.
Yep, and we got a graphic of the schedule showing up right now. Now, the good thing is 5 is going to be close because they do get to play the Dolphins, they play the Cardinals, and they get to play the Redskins twice. So that, just from that standpoint, and the Jets. So that'll be good. Now, the rest of their schedule is pretty brutal when you talk about Vikings, Patriots, at Detroit Lions, Cowboys, at Bears, Packers, at Eagles, and then the Eagles again a few weeks later. But they do have that Dolphins, double Redskins, Cardinals, and Jets to where maybe they do get to that 5 or 6 win point.
Yeah, that would be about right. And then, of course, how it goes. They're all looking at that schedule going, well, we got the Giants coming.
Yeah, you're right. You're
okay.
Yeah. We can win that week too, right?
We can win. That's a win. We got to chalk that one up. We got to get that one.
Okay. All right, Dad, this is something.
Go ahead. What else?
Well, this is more about you. I want to ask this because we got into in the office the other day about some of the hardest hits I ever took, and then I was telling some guys about some of the hardest hits you have told me about that you ever took, all right? And I want you to go down memory lane a little bit, and do you think you could remember just off the top of your head, because I know what I've told everybody here at the office, what your hardest hit you told me was at one point, the hardest hits you ever took in your NFL career. What 2 or 3 jump out to you?
Mark Gastineau was one.
Okay, that's what I told everybody.
In the preseason, right?
What, during the regular season?
Oh, it was regular season?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. It was a regular season game. He did a game, and he came around. It was like the Red Sea parted. He was coming right at me, and I saw him. And Gary Shirk, what was it, Gary Shirk? That would have been my rookie year, so that couldn't have been him. There was a tight end open right over the middle, and I said, oh, my God, I got to raise up and throw this, or should I just take the sack? So I raised up, I threw it. He put his helmet right in my chest, which was legal, and I flew in the air, landed on my butt, and the next day I got up. My chest hurt so bad, and my chest popped. If I, pulled my shoulders back, my chest popped for like 15 years.
That's what I told everybody.
What's you stand up, Phil, and pull back, and the middle of your chest pops
Yeah, it would pop like the bone would because I must have had a little build up there from where he hit me, and I had a sack of blood on my back rear, right above my rear end from landing on the ground that was humongous. And I woke up the next morning, roll over in bed, and we lost, and I went, oh, God, I never hurt when we won.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, and my wife, Diana, goes, oh, my God. I said, what? She goes, your back, it's full of blood. And then I went and looked in the mirror, and I went, oh, my, it didn't hurt.
Yeah.
But it was, it was pretty bad.
Yeah.
So that was one.
All right, good. That's the one I guess you would say would be number 1.
Yep, that's it.
All right, so give me 1 or 2 others that really jump out.
Look, Reggie White and Jerome Brown hit me at the same time, smashing me in the ground, driving me in it, pushing me, putting their hands on my face and getting up, and then they would pick me up, and then I've told you the story. They picked me up, both of them at the same time. They picked me up. They're slapping me on the rear and going, "That away, hang in there now. You can do it. Hang in there." And I thought, are they like saying they admire me, or they just
they
want to
really
kill
like
me?
They like killing you. What do you think it was? What is your heart? I think they admired you, Dad.
I think they admired me. Yes,
Yeah.
I know they did. They even said to me, "Oh man, we love you.
Yeah.
Wish you were playing with us." I said, "Well, Randall's not bad. No, we wish we had you." Okay.
Didn't that feel good, though? I mean, that's like the ultimate compliment. When you're getting beat up in a game and those defensive linemen and linebackers respect you. I mean, there's nothing like that.
Oh, no, it was great. The way they said it, I just went, kind of, oh, all right, I feel good. Go beat my ass some more here today.
Didn't you, say something like an F word to Reggie one time? And
down in Philadelphia.
Yeah.
First 2 plays of the game, he just literally knocked my shoes off.
Right.
And I threw the ball away both times. I couldn't even get the drop. I just threw it.
Right.
And the second time I'm sitting on the ground, and I look at my right tackle, Carl Nelson. You always know who misses the block because they want to help you up.
Right.
So he's there reaching his hand. I won't touch his hand. I said, Carl, I'm not going to curse. Is this crap going to go on all day long? And Reggie was standing right there, and he leaned over, and he talks like Muhammad Ali, and he goes, "That's right. It's going to go on all day." And I said, "Hey, I don't know.
You said, you preacher man. That's what
I
you
said,
said.
hey, preacher man. and his eyes got all wide, and I just now understand why he beat me for all those years. So, but we had some laughs about that over the years. He goes, I just, he was saying all these things. One day we were talking. He goes, but I'm still mad. You cursed at me, Phil. And I said, oh, Reggie, man, in the course of the game, who cares? I know, but you shouldn't have cursed at me.
Yeah,
he was off the field,
the
nicest guy in the world.
Right.
But man, they changed rules because of him.
Yeah.
And he got me in 1988.
Yeah.
4 o'clock game, little drizzly, Giant Stadium. We're beating them. I'm going up and down the field on the defense. I feel great. He got me, pinned my arms against my body, picked me up, and down goes Frazier.
Yeah. It's been on TV a lot lately. I've seen the clip on NFL Network for some reason, like a mashup of plays.
Was it called?
No, it wasn't called. But
no.
Paul, they didn't call that then. There was no rule.
You couldn't get a roughing the passer penalty back then.
It didn't exist.
Right. Yeah.
I don't even know if they called them. I swear, I don't remember ever looking down and going, "Oh, they called it."
After you released it, came and got you.
Yeah.
Yeah, I released it. He picked me up, drove me in the ground, and hurt my shoulder. And I came out of the game. We lost, and I think I missed one game. Is all I missed from it. But it could have been really bad. I remember seeing him play. When he was with the Philadelphia Stars, he picked up Doug Flutie, and that was the end of that.
Oh.
He picked him up like he was, Doug's not a big man, and he tore him into the ground, and Doug Flutie was out. So that was Reggie's move, to grab you, pin you, and then lay 310 pounds right on top of you.
Sounds like fun.
He was very good at it.
Yeah, he was very good about it. All right, anything else you want to talk about? You got anything else on your...
Well, I will say this. I watched a lot of films so far, the Minnesota.
Right.
I think that, I don't know if I said this to you already, but I think there's the 3 teams. When I look at the NFC North, I think it's the best division in football.
Yeah.
I think that every team now, after 3 games, 3 of those 4 teams know what they're going to be and who they want. They're going there, and I can see their vision. And the one team I can't see is who?
Chicago.
Chicago. That's right.
Right.
I still. Okay, where are we going with this still? I still don't quite see it, but I do with all the others. I see what Green Bay's doing. Minnesota has got it ironed out pretty well. They're protecting their line. They're protecting the depth of their defense. They got the runner. They know what they're doing. They're getting tougher. All those things. And I think we're seeing the same thing with Green Bay. You said it to me. Aaron Rodgers after the game, his face.
Yeah.
Talking, hey, I didn't get hit today. That's a great thing.
Right.
Not to dodge everybody. That's something that really, because I kind of watched all of them this week. And then the other one is the Indianapolis Colts.
Yeah.
Jacoby Brissett, he just can't play better.
Right.
He just really can't. And again, we gotta. I'm not gonna put him there yet, but I'm trying to. Frank Reich's design and play calls.
Yeah, I know.
Are really, really special.
It is. Every week he's got a handful of plays, right, where you go, damn, that is it's game plan specific, which is great because we talked about stuff like this before you came on, Dad. But he would be one of those guys that would go as edging up into the Shanahan, McVay, McDaniels, Sean Payton, Andy Reid territory to where every week you turn on the film and you go, damn, that was a cool play.
Well, all you got to do, you watch the whole game, and I watched it close. And I was writing a bunch of stuff down. I was writing down plays I liked, and I looked at it and said, God, I have 15 plays written down here. I think that's a little too much. But they got the ball with 4 minutes and something to go in the game. We hear this phrase, the 4-minute offense, And I always kind of go, what the hell is that? We want to run the clock out. Oh, wow, okay, no kidding.
Right.
But he had plays still sitting there that he ran that worked, that won the game for him.
Yeah, right.
Because if Atlanta got the ball, they were going to go down and score.
Yeah, they had it going.
Well, they had it going, and the Indianapolis defense is just not ready yet.
No.
They're still a little beat up, and they got to get some things going together, and they hustle, but they play, very conservative.
Yes, they do.
And so, but I thought that was like the highlight of all my film watching, and I watched it. It was just so well done, so well designed, and the play call, and he's doing it differently too. All the tight ends,
right?
Just
pulling guards, pulling people in the run game, play action
when in
pass
doubt,
off
at
of
the end of the game, I think they did some. I don't know if it was the screen. I have to look at my notes, but I think they ran a screen. And so, what do you think? Who you think they pulled to lead that screen to the right?
Mr. Quentin Nelson?
They pulled his big ass around there, and it's like a refrigerator, and he can run.
I know. It is amazing.
That is the amazing – when I just saw, oh, my God, he runs almost like a big tight end.
Yeah, he does.
So that, and I can't wait to see New England, their defense, my last thought.
Yeah.
Wow. I know it's the Jets. I don't care.
Right.
But the creativity on the defensive side, the little nuances of what they do, it's unbelievable, and I think it's what will Buffalo do against them.
What's your favorite? Give us your favorite example of defensive creativity for the Patriots.
Oh, well, the old, I don't know who's standing where, that one which we see, but they have they're so precise on how they go after the quarterback. And I'm actually going to show some of it on Sunday, but Jamie Collins, he left New England, of course. They let him go to Cleveland.
Yeah.
And he's come back, and he's better.
He is.
He physically looks better than I remember him with New England.
Yeah.
He's bigger, faster, and it seems like they're making him the focal point of a lot of stuff.
It does seem that way.
So here they go. They got this really odd look on defense. One guy hits the inside right shoulder of the left guard. So think of that.
Yeah.
He hits the inside shoulder. The other guy rushing hits the outside shoulder of the left tackle.
Right.
And then there's Jamie Collins outside. He loops around, and I mean, you could drive a truck through it. And he ran over Luke Falk before he could even see who was coming.
Yeah.
I mean, it was, and I thought, but you see it all over the film.
Right.
The little thing that they hit the right spot on the guy. They weren't trying to sack the quarterback. They were just, what's blitzing about? Two things: spacing and timing.
Yeah.
And man, they really do it well.
Yeah, they do.
And then the last thing. Michael Bennett, he's the pass rusher, right?
Right.
Well, he's got to get on the field. They just play so many people.
Yeah.
And Michael Bennett looks like he picked up weight too. But, I watched the game. I kept going, I want to see Michael Bennett make some moves. And I went, he's not in. He's not in. He's not in. Maybe he was a little beat up, but it seemed like he only played a few plays in the whole game. But just everything about him, just all the years they played safe, bend but don't break. Well, this is not the defense this year. This is just go out there and let's knock them out. That's what they're doing.
Yeah, that's what they're doing. I mean, they've only let up 3 points the whole year, the defense.
Yeah.
That's what's insane.
And the last thing is their secondary, without question, we know it's good. They're the best tackling secondary in the NFL, too.
Yeah.
And that's saying something because Buffalo's pretty good themselves.
They are.
It's also something you don't get to practice anymore during the week, so that's a hell of a compliment.
Well, they all have the same technique. Christopher, you would know more than me. They teach, you never see the big hit.
No,
they don't go for knockout hits.
No.
They must talk about it constantly. They go below the waist so you can't get overpowered. And watch every one of them. They spread their arms as wide as they can get them, and they try to get – that's what they do.
Yeah, well, I mean, come on. You and I know New England. They're going to be the only team in football still working on those drills in Week 17 where they'll do the thud and wrap and lift the guy up a little. I mean, they'll still be doing it like it's the second week of preseason football.
Right.
Well,
that's what makes them amazing.
My favorite story is a couple years ago, during their first week of getting ready for the Super Bowl, he had them running gassers.
Yeah, right.
and I was like – and, hey – you just got to remind them like every day that you're the boss. So Belichick does a good job of that.
Yeah, he does. All right, you the man,
All right, well,
Dad.
good talking to you guys. Y'all have a great day.
All right, man, you too.
Nice to you.
See ya.
Bye.
All right, good. I told you that would be his hardest hit. I knew that. You got to see the Reggie White hit he's talking about. It's been on TV lately. It's for some. I don't want to say if it's an NFL 100 commercial or whatever, but whatever. We'll find it.
Who got you the hardest?
But my shot I took on the spleen was probably literally the hardest.
Did you know at the time?
I mean, I didn't know it was a spleen, but it was a hard one. It was Thomas Davis, and it was a clean shot, and he got me while somebody else hit me, and he got all of me. Yeah. So that was definitely a good one. There's a few others that I took through the years that, I got swung around in a college game. I got swung around against Oregon, and somebody hit me on the side of my head. I remember getting up going. While I was being spun around, and somebody hit me in the time. I remember getting up going like, damn, I do see three.
Yeah.
Like, there's three of everybody out up here. Like, there's your bell rung.
Of course.
You're thinking now you're out of the game and you're in the blue 10 and all that, but I didn't give a shit. I was going to keep playing. So that one jumps out to me. But I always say the guys that hurt the most were not like the huge Julius Peppers, I swallow you up type guys. It was more of the middle linebacker or a strong safety who could get underneath your pads or just get in your body and then explode, those are the ones that always hurt to me more than anything.
Right.
All right, let's get back to deep dive.
Yes. We got one more.
Oh, yep. And also, I'm going to Notre Dame as you are, okay? Yep. Notre Dame this weekend.
See you in a couple of
Notre Dame, Virginia. That's going to be pretty good.
Great game.
I'm pumped for it.
Right?
I really am. I mean, Notre Dame's still an unbelievable environment to be there for college football. It's Saturday, 3:30 Eastern time. Number 18, Virginia, at number 10, Notre Dame. Glad they didn't fall down the rankings too far. They didn't deserve. They were there to – they had a chance to win that game in Georgia. But that'll be a good watch. If you want to listen on radio, that'll be Paul Burmeister. If you watch on TV, it'll be Flutie, Tarico, with me from the sidelines from time to time, just adding a little wrinkle and here Catherine. And there. What's that?
And Catherine.
And Catherine Tappan, of course. I don't know what I'm thinking there. How could I leave her out? She's the woman who makes it all go for us, and so cool that way. Okay. Browns O, Rams D. You want to start there?
Browns O, Rams D. So I've had a couple places to start from each one of these, kind of like the first statement. Browns offense, all right, Cleveland's lost more games than they've won. They're bottom half of the league, yards and points.
Yep.
Outside of Miami, the only quarterback with more interceptions than touchdowns is Baker Mayfield.
Oh.
So, I mean, this isn't a make me feel better about my team segment. However, it kind of fits as we start the deep dive here. I know a couple days ago you talked about the identity of the Cleveland offense being lacking, but what specifically isn't there right now?
Yeah, well, okay. I think the first thing has to start out with this. And this is the first thing I wrote is you'll see. All right, one of the first things I noticed in the game to begin with is just that number 56 and number 99 are man-childs. I mean, Dante Fowler and Aaron Donald, almost from get-go, you turned on the film and I went, ooh, they're going to have trouble blocking these guys. I mean, from the very first play, they popped. And you were like, oh, gosh, especially Dante Fowler. And then Aaron Donald came along as the game went on. So there's issues there. And the Cleveland Browns, just so we talk about this, they don't have an identity in their pass game. But also, they have to protect their pass game right now when they play a team like the Rams because they have a right tackle, right guard pass protection issue. There's no other way to say it. I mean, the fact that Hubbard didn't get to play at right tackle and they played Justin McCray, who's really been a guard most of his life, he had to play tackle, and they already had issues with Cush at right guard. That was a recipe for disaster. So I do think Freddie Kitchens' game plan a little bit was get the ball out of their hands quick because we're not going to hold up against this front four if we call plays 20, 15 yards down the field and we're always taking shots. So that's why it looked a little underwhelming from that standpoint. But 56 and 99 were everywhere. Okay. Their identity started a little with their run game. They ran the ball 23 times for 96 yards. Okay, I know it's not great. It's not great, but it was good. It was good.
You're not ignoring it at that point.
I'm not ignoring it, no. And there was a few plays that were real close to becoming big-time runs where it's like a shoestring tackle or Nick Chubb is going to break it and go for another 20 or 30. So I like that aspect of it. And you've heard me say, and this will be the third week in a row I say it, this is an O-line that is better at run blocking than pass blocking. So I think they got to start playing to that strength of their team. And you know this because this is another common theme with all the lackluster offenses in football right now. They don't get underneath the center enough. Right. I just want to go, are you watching the Rams on the other side of the ball? Are you watching the Saints on a weekly basis? Do you see Tom Brady? Do you see Jimmy Garoppolo and their offense and what they're tearing people up with?
Right.
The best offenses in football are underneath the center.
What do you think their counter argument would be? Like the offenses that go almost strictly shotgun. They listen to you. And these teams that get under center, they look great in the run game. They're more play action possibilities, but we do this because
I'm going to guess they're going to say it makes a clearer picture for our quarterback, right? Not everybody's smashed between the tackles. Which is true. Sure, that's great. Our pass protection rules are a little easier in the shotgun too, right? Like if you have a double A-gap blitzer and you're in the shotgun, your guard doesn't have to block down, right? Because you have the back there.
Right.
So there is benefits to it. I get it. But the non-benefits, I think, far outweigh those benefits we just talked about there. And, again, and they got underneath the center a few times and ran play action pass. And, of course, good things happen, okay? But the biggest thing is I think it's going to be their best way to help their O-line. It's going to be the best way to jumpstart Baker Mayfield. It's going to make the game more simple for him. Again, shotgun play action run plays do not have the same effect on the second level linebackers as they do when you're underneath the center. When the guy's underneath the center and, I can't really see clearly back there, and now the quarterback's turned his back to me to hand the ball, and there was a mesh between the running back and the quarterback where I'm not so sure if he's got the ball or not, so I'm coming downhill because he's coming downhill too. And when it's in the shotgun, it doesn't go like that. You can kind of see it clearly. Just as we talked about the quarterback, it paints a clearer picture. The linebacker's going, this is clear to me too. So he can see the what's going on in the back end there. So that's just something that jumps out to me, and I wish they would do it more. They did it last year, especially when Freddie Kitchens took over, and I don't know why they've gotten away from it so much, but I do like the fact that they got into the running game, okay? The other thing I would tell you, they got to move OBJ around more. Everybody.
He's been static, just like.
They kind of just put him outside, single side, more times than not, make him the X receiver. Listen, it's his OBJ. The bright lights are on him every play.
Right.
I mean, the Rams in almost every play double teamed him. Yeah. They were not going to let him get one-on-one versus Marcus Peters and just go to work, or get one-on-one with Aqib Talib. They didn't care. They went, no, we're gonna one of you guys get up there and press him, and Eric Weddle's gonna be behind you to help you every single play. Red zone doubled every single play. So my answer to that is you have to make him part of the concept more. One, because it's going to mess up the doubling rules. If you have them in a bunch and all of a sudden the defense goes, well, damn, we got 6 guys over here covering the bunch. We're not very sound on the back end or in the run game.
Or if you send them in motion.
You're going to test some of those rules and communication and things out like that. So I do think that's something they have to work on a little bit more. But overall, I had no big issue with the plan of attack for the Browns. For the most part. There was nothing that I looked at that just said, ooh, this is an issue. I think they did what they had to do.
You don't think they've been too aggressive?
Not in this game, maybe overall, but I don't think in this game. As the game went on, no. I think he called the game according to what he thought he could get away with in this defense. Now, the Rams' front four is special. They play zone coverage almost every play because they know their front four can get home. Right. So they don't take any chances. They're a little bit like, hey, we're going to play zone. We'll see if you can execute for 10 or 12 plays. Chances are, though, our number 99 is going to something up for you and put you behind the sticks or cause a turnover, and we'll be okay. But we're not going to let you just throw a fade or pick plays and get the ball out of your hand quickly. They're going to make you pat the ball like we talk about because we think 56 or 99 will make something happen. And I think that's the right approach on their side of the ball. Baker has to be better in the pocket, Paul.
Better as in, because I can picture it.
Yeah.
I think I know where you're going with it. Better as in more accurate, better as in stop moving around.
Yes.
You don't have to.
All of it. Don't see ghosts, okay? You just sometimes people get close and it's his right away is drop his eyes, let me move around. Or the other thing I hate more than anything is, and I'm going to jib this. Let's jib this, Jonald McDonald. Is the other thing, too, is he's got to learn to push up in the pocket. I would say watch Tom Brady and the Patriots. Watch some other good quarterbacks. That's what they do. Something I learned when I was in New England and played for Josh McDaniels, nothing good happens when you go backwards. And too many times during the game, here's Baker Mayfield, and okay, people are around him, but instead of stepping up and going like this because there's a pocket formed, and now if he would step up and do this, nobody's in front of him, and it's going to be like he's in 7-on-7 in football practice, right? Because now everybody's behind him. Instead, he kind of does this and starts running out to the side. And there's nothing good going to happen out there.
His first reaction is to go sideways.
Right.
Not back, not front, but sideways.
And it just shouldn't be that way. He's going to put more pressure on a defense when he starts to learn to step up. And there was a few plays in this game where I just went, man, if he steps up, they're going to be in trouble in the back end. They got people open, but he was more worried about getting outside the pocket. And maybe that's because of size. And, hey, he's been able to get away with it with his athleticism his whole career. But Baker Mayfield's not that fast. Not for NFL quarterbacks today.
Right.
No, he ran 4.8 at the Combine. Aaron Donald beats him in a race every day of the week, twice on Sunday.
Right.
Dante Fowler does. Most defensive tackles are 300 pounds are going to beat him. So you're not going to win that. But you might win the step up in the pocket. Okay, now it's cleared out for you. You could see everything. Also, what you're doing when you step up in the pocket, you're attacking the line of scrimmage. So zone linebackers, they see you step up in the pocket, they start to get nervous, like, oh, damn, he might take off and run. So they start to come up. Oh, damn, he threw it behind me. I mean, Brady's mastered that.
Right.
Let me step up aggressively, and the linebackers get antsy. Oh, he might run for 3 or 4. Let me start coming up too. Oh, damn, he hit Edelman right behind me. Gosh, damn. And that's what he's got to get better at that, because he's leaving plays and putting them in bad situations there.
And it's not as difficult as changing your motion, which quarterbacks can do a little bit in the offseason, but changing the way you react to pressure in the moment is a hard thing.
It is a very hard thing. There's no doubt.
It's not a quick fix. It's not like, oh, okay, you're right, I can do it this time, because it happens so fast.
Yep.
And like you said, he's gotten away with it for so long. And part of the reason people like watching him play as a rookie is running around and making plays like that. So that's kind of part of his DNA that I think it's a great point.
Yeah. But it's going to be hard to get it out of him, what you're saying. It is. They got to drill it. You got to drill it. You got to stay on top of them in practice. You got to go through practice and go, you're not allowed to escape to the sides at all today. That's the rule. Like, you can make that rule in practice.
Right.
And then you could do drills in practice too. Like, oh, okay, special teams is out there.
Yeah.
All right, we're going to have guys here. Like, we're going to make you work the pocket, and you're going to keep your eyes downfield. And we're going to make you step up and continue to move up and step up and slide that way.
And one number Pete just gave me in my ear, Baker right now, 28.3 passer rating against the blitz. Or, I'm sorry, under pressure.
Yeah.
28.3 under pressure. Only 2 quarterbacks worse. Trubisky and Eli Manning. And it isn't because he's not tough. It isn't because he's not a great thrower of the football. It's because of how he's reacting.
It is.
To that pressure.
There's no doubt. He's not sure if he has pressure sometimes. He's not sure where do I go with the ball. I don't think he's sure of what's protected and what's not. He's still learning that. And like we were just saying, nothing good's going to happen running backwards into your right 15 yards behind the line of scrimmage.
So it's easy to, with you pointing it out, it's easy to picture this and understand where he needs to get better.
Yep.
You can make excuses, or one can make excuses for the first game against Tennessee because it's game 1.
Yeah, sure.
A lot of offenses aren't what they should be.
Right.
You can make excuses because the LA Rams are going to make a lot of offenses look bad.
They are.
What they can do in the front
four.
Right.
They did it to the Saints and Drew Brees just the week before a little. Right.
Do you think this is a team that down the road is going to have a winning record when we get to October, November? Or is this the 1-2, 4-6, 5-7 kind of team?
Well, this is I'm not giving up hope that they can still be a playoff, like just eke our way in the playoff conversation. I'm not, because I still think there's enough talent here. Their defense is good. We're going to get to that in a second. My big thing is they have to weather the storm with the next 4 games. The next 4 games are Ravens, at 49ers, at Seattle Seahawks, at New England Patriots.
What's weather the storm? Win 1?
Weather the storm, maybe just win 1. Just don't go 0-4 is what I'm saying.
That's incredible.
Because if they go 0-4, then they're 1-6, and you're pretty much done. If they're 2-5, okay. Then you got the Broncos, the Bills, the Steelers, the Dolphins, the Steelers, the Bengals.
Yeah.
You might be able to go on a run and get yourself back to, 5-5, 6-5, something like that. So this is an incredible part of the season for them right now.
Yeah.
And their offense has to find an identity. I do think they took a step in the right direction. Let's not lose sight. This was the NFC defending champs, who are definitely one of the best teams in football still, and they had the ball on the 4-yard line, 1st and goal, to tie the game. Maybe win it if they want to go for 2. Last 2 things I just got to hit on with this side of the ball.
Yep.
First off, everybody want to know about the 4th and 9 run call, right? The full Tropic Thunder moment by Freddie Kitchens. I'm not so sure it's Freddie Kitchens. When I watch the film, and I can show you the play after this, I think Baker Mayfield messed up. I think that they had this run play called with another pass play in the huddle, and Baker, for whatever reason, went with the run play. And so this is the 2 things I'll say why I think this. 1, I look at reactions when I watch coaches film all the time. I look to see when a guy blows a coverage, does he get up and who's he talking to? Why is he talking? Who's he blaming? What are they talking about? Because it gives you context clues to go, okay, that's probably what they were doing. I look to the coaches sometimes when players are close to the sidelines, because whoever the coach yells at, you go, that's the guy that messed up.
Or he was just standing next to him.
Or let me rewind it and watch that guy there and see what he did. Oh, that's what he did. So this play, as soon as the ball snapped, Freddie Kitchens looks and just stares at Baker Mayfield. Looks downfield to see the guy got 2 yards, right?
Yeah.
And then looks back at Baker Mayfield like with the arms out, like, what are you doing? Yeah. Why did you do that? And so that tells me that Baker Mayfield messed the checkup. the second thing that tells me he messed the check up was for that play, that's just not the right look to run that play into. I know what they were trying to do. They're trying to kind of catch them off guard and run a weak side run with a few people to the left side and get aggressive pass rush up the field to where they kind of sneak them and go. The problem is the linebackers were kicked over to the side they want to run the ball. So, you know, the weak side linebacker was head up with the tailback. The center couldn't get over there to make the appropriate block to cut him off. And then the other linebacker who was in the box too, the backside lineman couldn't get over there to cut him off. So the alignment was wrong for them to run the play. So before we all jump on Freddie Kitchens, I'm pretty sure that Baker Mayfield would be the one to blame on that play.
Maybe he just whiffed mentally on knowing that it was.
He might have. He might have. I don't know.
What percentage of run plays get more than 9 yards in the NFL?
No.
Less than 10?
No, right. That's where it's one of those where, you know, if I'm going to blame Freddie Kitchens, and by all accounts it looks like it was Baker Mayfield's fault, if I was going to blame one thing on Freddie Kitchens, I would just go, don't even have that a part of the play call in this situation. You're not, if it's 4th and 9. If it was 4th and 4, I'd be cool with you having that part of the play call. But it's 4th and 9.
Yeah.
Like, you got to know, one, that's a lot to ask for on a 4th and 9. Two, you also got to know, like, damn, I'm going to get scrutinized if we don't make it on 4th and 9 and we get 2 yards and in one of the biggest plays of the game. Like, you got to play that part of the angle too and just go, that's stupid.
He clearly didn't want it to be a run play.
No, and I think he's the ultimate going to take the bullet for the team kind of head coach.
Yeah.
So I think he just said, my fault, I shouldn't have called it.
Right.
Even though I think all the things that I saw tell me that Baker Mayfield messed that up.
He forgot it was 4th.
Last thing, in the red zone, end of the game, Wade Phillips, who I told you doubled Odell Beckham Jr. every play, he still did that, except one play. He took a chance, and he said, I'm going to go all out. On the first down play, he tried to blitz and go all-out pressure. But all the other plays, he kind of changed up the looks at the end of the game to where I don't think Kitchens or Baker Mayfield could get a feel for what coverage they were in those moments. And that leads to hard to read a defense if you're a quarterback, hard to get a feel for what a defense does if you're the play caller. So those are just two things that jumped up to me. But the last thing to say is on that last play of the game, it goes back to one of our themes. If he pushes up in the pocket, he's going to walk in for a touchdown. But for some reason, he panicked and ran to the right and then just had to throw a ball up the grabs. It's wide open. If he pushes up in the pocket, they've done a little stunt loop. There's nobody there on the inside.
Just
he's going to walk in.
Daniel
Jones did. It's who I thought of. It's exactly what I thought of. I said that Daniel Jones stepped up, and he saw, oh, the sea parted. Let me just go run in.
Someone's covering me.
Right. So there's that. Sorry, that was a lot, but
no, it's good.
Yep. Okay, cool.
Baker counts as a star. So we can hit him in all.
We can hit him in all angles. Yeah, he is kind of a star.
Other side.
Yeah.
Rams offense, Browns defense.
Yep.
You starting with Rams O or Browns D? What's your headline?
Yeah. Well, okay. I think Browns D is getting overlooked. That's just one thing I'd like to say. It's a good defense, and let's not forget they didn't have Greedy Williams or Denzel Ward. I think that hurt them in the matchup to few scenarios where I think they would have liked to have played man-to-man on some third downs and things like that, where I think they were afraid to because of the guys they had out there in the secondary. But Rams D-line, good. I just think the Browns defense is good, and we need to give them credit. They're no pushover.
Were they best?
I would say they're front four. Myles Garrett, Richardson, and Olivier Vernon and Ogunjobi, it's a good front four. They can cause a lot of disruption. So I just think that we got to give them credit, okay? Other thing is, big picture, Andrew Whitworth, great job on Myles Garrett. I mean, Andrew Whitworth, I don't know, he's 77 years old to match his number on his jersey, but he still can just be left alone against the greatest pass rushers in the game, and you go, we're okay. We don't have to do anything special to protect him. Todd Gurley is not the same guy. I don't care what they say or how they try to put the spin on it, okay? He is not the same Todd Gurley. I'm not saying he's bad. He's still a good player. But Todd Gurley, the superstar,
is not there.
Is over until I see evidence on the contrary.
What's the bigger drop-off? Just thinking back to another guy you described that way, Fletcher Cox. Who's most different this year in an unfortunate way?
I think Todd Gurley. And I think Todd Gurley's is more concerning because I think Fletcher Cox is just dealing with like an injury right now, where I think Todd Gurley's is like, I'm very conscious of cutting off my left knee.
So it's more the cutting than the actual speed?
I think it's more of that, the aggressive cutting. Oh, we're running to the left. There's a hole open to the right. Let me plant my left foot in the ground and really fly. Nah, he kind of uses both feet to do it that way. When he's on the other side, he'll cut aggressively off his right leg to push left. But when it's like I'm running left and I need to push off of the left to cut back to go right, it's not the same. It's almost like he uses both. And I do think he protects his knee a little bit when he goes through traffic. There's just little things that I see that as I watch film.
It's a big thing.
I hope he proves me wrong because he was the man before this.
3 games in to post Super Bowl disappointment. What's your read on Jared Goff?
I mean, Jared Goff, he made some big throws in the game. You know, Jared Goff can be streaky. I think, like, hey, McVay does a great job of breaking Jared Goff into the game. I think that sometimes they get off to slow starts, like we saw the last 2 weeks. I mean, even the Saints game, you know, they end up scoring 20 and 27.
Right.
But I think he's very wary of, I'm going to get Jared involved in the game, get him some easy completions, not put it all on his shoulders early on in case something bad happens that just gets worse.
Right.
I think he kind of just goes, no, defense is good. We can run the ball.
Which they are.
They are. I'll find a few screens and easy passes to get everybody going. And then when McVay feels like he's got a hold on what you're doing, he starts to go, okay, it's Jared Goff. Here we go. Let's start doing play action.
You want to see him do that right away?
I would like to see it more. I mean, it's rare you see a franchise quarterback have to be managed that way, but it's what works for them, and I'm not going to complain.
Did they do it last year too?
They do. Yes, that's what he does. It's just it's part of why he's made Goff who he is too, though. So I'm not going to be mad at that. You know, I'm just amazed by this part of it. The Rams, McVay's patience due to some of the things I said right there. He's got no problem with, like, okay, I'm going to stick with my game plan. I'm not going to get like, oh, it's 3-3 and I'm frustrated and I'm going to start throwing like, we're going to get in the shotgun like some teams and just throw it 70 times now. I can't take it anymore. He's always like, oh, 3-3. Okay, that's okay. We're okay. Run the ball, run the ball, play action, you know, and he just stays patient with it. And he never tries to force an issue. He sees the big picture of the game is what I'm saying. And I think he read that game as, ooh, these defenses are good out here, and this might be low scoring, and I'm not going to let our offense lose it. I'm just always amazed by that. And then really the simpleness of the game plan, more than anything. That's what just jumps out to me. There was nothing special about this game. I mean, it's just he truly, the drop back passes, there was only a few route combinations, but they worked every time they dropped back to pass because he just went, ooh, okay, I don't need 95 plays. I got like 5 pass plays that I'll mix up the formations and maybe play action sometimes, maybe straight back. But I think this will give their defense and what they do issues, and he just rides them to death.
Is that a new approach?
It's always been him. It's always been. He is about simplicity. This is what we do good. And then he's a master at packaging it all together. Right. And that's where he's always great. But that's what he did. And Goff was really good in third quarter. Goff pretty good in the pocket as compared to McVay. Those are things that jumped out to me. And he got the game going. And then, you know, his last interception at the end of the game was stupid. He just tried to force the issue. He tried to throw the crosser, and Schobert got his hand up and tipped it. And, of course, that almost cost them a win, or at least might have cost them going into overtime.
How major of an issue is this to the passing game and the play action and the different ways they package it that Gurley is pretty good instead of great?
Yeah, it's not going to maybe – I think at some point during the season people are going to go – when they're underneath the center, second level, I want you to err on play action pass. Don't worry about coming downhill so aggressively. I think that time will come here soon where defenses are going to go, hey, their run game's good, but – it's not good like it was the last 2 years where if there was a hole, Gurley might go 70 to the house.
Right.
I think that their teams are going to err on favoring the play-action pass here sooner than later. And it's just going to hurt them in general because they're amazing at staying patient with play-action passing.
And before we put that one behind, favorite team in the NFC West right now? Best team?
I think it's between the Rams and the 49ers.
Right.
I think I got to go with the Rams right now. Okay. But I think the 49ers –
I kind of thought you were going to say the 49ers.
Watch out for them. Yeah. I don't want to quite crown them yet. Right. It's 3 games in, and there's another team who's gone to the playoffs 2 years in a row and won the Super Bowl, or gone to the Super Bowl. But the 49ers are like, I look at them right now to go, there's a lot of things in their DNA of their team where I go, they can be really dangerous. All right. I got another read to do, I think.
Saw that.
Yep.
Yeah.
I am a great reader. Here we go. Oh, I got some traffic to get to here. And this one has to do with Tide, okay? Tide, you know, cleans your clothes, gets you going, makes you smell good. Yeah, I like Tide too. It's the beginning of the season. And Tide is making sure no one misses football on Sundays. Starring Peyton Manning, this new campaign pits NBC's biggest stars and lineup of fan-favorite shows against one another in the ultimate battle, debating which night of the week is the best to do laundry. What is it to you? Best to do laundry? None of them is the proper answer for me. But I guess if I was going to pick a night to do laundry, it would be Tuesday or Wednesday.
Right.
I'm not messing up my Thursday or Friday or Saturday night. I know that. Or Sunday or Monday because of football. So it's not happening.
I do laundry at our house, and it's not one night. It's like every other day.
Every other day? Okay. So, all right. So there you go. All month long, though, throughout NBC programming, check out why Manning and the league officially declare a new meaning for the NFL, not for laundry. I like it. That's really cool. And you know Peyton Manning's going to be hilarious in delivering that and everything else. So there you go, Tide.
Where's the free Tide?
I don't know. We'll work on that. Maybe I have to do a few more reads, and they'll start giving us some free stuff.
I've been looking forward to the newsreels. This is my first newsreel.
This is your first newsreel here?
Portion of the Unbuttoned podcast.
Okay.
Yeah. Cliff Notes version of the deep dive.
Yep.
Cowboys offense.
Okay, let's do it. Let's just hit the good stuff here, okay? Cowboys offense, okay. Man, did they come out aggressive in that football game? They tried to blow out Miami 56-0 in the first quarter.
Yeah.
So they got a little greedy, I think, and that's why the game became a little close there for a little while. But the big thing is, they come out putting pressure on you. And I think that's what's different from any...
Describe what kind of pressure?
Pressure with formations, different people. We're not going to just run it on first and second down. We're going to come out and play action and throw the ball deep on first down, things like that, where I said in the old days, no, it would have never gone like that. It would have been a lot of running on first, running on second, and as the game goes, maybe we'll start throwing it on first down if we don't like the way our run game's going. Right. So that's where they're different in years past. But the shifts, the movements, the personnel sets, I wrote OMG. I just can't believe it. I can't believe this is the Cowboys.
Yeah.
Cowboys had some big drops early, had a few big penalties. But they came out aggressive in trying to blow the Dolphins off the field. I mean, hey, here's another team. Underneath the center a lot. Yeah. Fullbacks in the game. Doing things like that. Adding another dimension to their run game because they've been a huge, just 11 team the last few years. Yeah. This is our personnel, and this is what we do. So that jumped out to me.
They do everything. Every formation, every motion that you can think of, they have it.
I can't believe it.
You tipped me off to it. I watched.
Yeah, so now you're seeing it, and you're going, damn, they do
You watch every single game. I listen to you, and based off of what you said, I'm like, okay, I'm going to go back and watch that.
Right.
They do everything that you could possibly think of. And what I found cool, a little bit old school, they'll do the run-pass option. They bring the slot receiver in motion, so they fake the jet sweep. They do all this stuff that's come about from Saturday, transition to Sunday.
Sure.
But then the next play, they'll have just two receivers to one side and run a zip curl concept.
Yeah, right.
Or soft corner, we'll throw a 5-yard out.
Right. And they'll just go, well, we'll just take it. Fine.
Yeah.
But you're right. They have a good blend of old school and new school together.
It's not all his ego.
No.
And, hey, there are some coordinators who do great based off of the ego and look what I can do.
Right.
And look how cool and innovative this is. In the midst of all that, they'll run something that worked back.
He'll go, you're going to give me the 5-yard out? Sure, we'll take it.
Do that.
Sold, no problem. We're not going to be fancy here. We'll just take the 5-yard out. And
I don't like the defender covering the flat. We'll run a curl and a zip
behind it. And we know how to work the play, and we're going to work it the right way. And Dak's going to throw the ball in the money. I know,
Great watch.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
I mean, I can't believe I'm saying this, and I wrote this in the notes. Only third game. I get it. But the Cowboys' offense is one of the best in the NFL.
Yeah.
There's no other way to say it. They make you defend every square inch of that field, and they make you think with the motions and the shifts and the different personnels and all that stuff. So, I also would say this. If it weren't for number 15 in Kansas City, we'd be talking about number 4 as the MVP of football right now. I think he's in that conversation.
Hasn't thrown a pick,
Right? That's how special he's been.
Yeah.
So I look at that, and, it's just their, like the things you said, their passing offense utilizes every part of the field, which I like. There's no one area you can go, ooh, they really attack this area. No defensive coordinators will be able to game plan for that. And the last thing I'll say, it's the most dangerous Cowboys team I've seen since the 90s.
Yep.
I mean, they're real.
Yeah.
I mean, this is you could argue they're the second best team in football. I mean, there's ways I could sit here and go, I think they're better than the Kansas City Chiefs. I'm not going to put them there.
You're going to say the Patriots are the
But the Patriots are number 1.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying you could argue they're number 2.
Yeah.
I could look at them and go, it's no longer just about the Jimmies and the Joes. They got the X's and the O's to go along with the Jimmies and Joes, and watch out.
And all that you mentioned isn't like they change from drive to drive. They change from play to play.
They do.
which
Yes.
is also different than some other teams.
It is.
Biggest test yet against the Saints.
Yeah.
Offensively for the Cowboys.
Right.
Because you just spent a lot of time praising the Saints defense.
Yeah.
Advantage who?
I think advantage Cowboys offense. I do. I think with maybe the over-aggressive coverage we talk about with the Saints, and even with the Saints with that great D-line they have, I think even they will a few times go, we need to help them out a little with the run game because this is the Cowboys, and that's one of the better O-lines in football. So, I think the Cowboys have a leg up as far as on paper in the matchup.
Right.
But, it is in New Orleans, and you got to deal with that. New Orleans is going to remember that they lost in Dallas last year in a hard-cost physical football game.
We extended the newsreel a little bit there in the Cowboys offense.
Yeah,
I'll take the blame for that.
Yeah,
I got
that's
a little
okay. Don't
excited
worry.
talking
That's
about
all right. We got to say
how much fun the offense
they've been that
is
amazing.
Cowboys defense.
Cowboys defense, this will be the newsreel version of it. They're phenomenal.
So fast.
The team speed is the best in football, maybe, if it's in the conversation. Tell me a weakness on their defense. I mean, guys like Antoine Woods and Tyrone Crawford weren't even playing in the football game.
Right.
They're two of their better defensive linemen. And now with the Robert Quinn on the team and healthy and off the edge, I mean, it's just phenomenal the way they fly around the field.
You know who's worth the price of a ticket?
Yeah.
Watching him is Jalen Smith.
Yeah, there's no question. Him and Van Der Esch in the middle.
Yeah, right.
And then, gosh, when they want to get in base, it's Sean Lee's in there too. I mean, it's really phenomenal. Byron Jones being back, healthy. He's a shutdown corner. There's just not a lot of weakness to this Cowboys team. Team speed, simplicity on the defensive side of the ball maybe scares me a little bit against like the really great creative offenses. But I think that they're talented enough really to kind of just play it simple, and they're not going to have to worry about changing up too much.
So the Michael Thomas, Alvin Kamara combination for them shouldn't be a problem?
I don't think so. I think they're going to have a good feel for this. This is one of the reasons I think they gave the New Orleans Saints a little issue last year. Sean Payton's got a lot of John Gruden offense. Rod Marinelli, D coordinator.
They gave the Saints a big problem, actually.
Yeah, they gave him a big problem. 13-10, if I remember correctly, with the one last year. Rod Marinelli was with me in all my years in Tampa. He's got a good feel for those little West Coast, Sean Payton, John Gruden, like we'll find the slot receiver in the back out of the backfield a lot. He's got the proper answers on that side of the ball where I think he can give them a tough time at least.
Vikings offense.
Man, let me get to those notes. But you know what? You heard my dad say a little bit about it.
Best running back in football, he said.
I mean, and it's really hard to disagree with that. Here we go. Things that jumped off, a lot of 2 and 3 tight end sets. They're playing to their strength, okay? Their O-line is good. They're athletic. They're very athletic in the run game. They got the Gary Kubiak thing going, of course, with the inside-outside zone. You heard my dad say Terrell Davis, Shanahan. Yeah, there's a lot of similarities there. I'll even say this. They're very diversified in their run game, too. They got a few things every game where I go, ooh, that was a cool way to block that. You know, pulling linemen, little inside traps, bend back plays. We're looking at like we're running the left, but we're going to bend back to the right, and the fullback's going to go along with you there. Just things like that really jump out to me. But their O-line is the strength of their team, and I think it's cool that they're playing through their 2 and 3 tight end sets. So a lot of 21, 12, 13, 22, 11 personnel. They are changing it up too, and this is a difference for them last year where they lived in 11 like all season long and never did anything. So I think that's awesome. They're dangerous. You know, again, just to say what my dad said, I'd watch out because they're going to play defense. They're going to smash mouth football. And then when they drop back to pass, they're not worried about completion percentage anymore. They're looking to strike. And I think that's scary sometimes to defend that kind of offense. So, you know, they got the necessary boots and play actions off of it, and they're playing to the strength of their offense. They're not going, oh, we have to justify Kirk Cousins' paycheck, so we need to throw the ball more so he has sexy numbers. No, Zimmer said, F you. We'll justify it by us winning games, and that's what we're going to do. And then everybody will shut up when we're like 12-4 and in the playoffs and winning games. And that's what they're trying to do, and at least it's the right approach. I don't know if they get there, but it's the right approach.
It's the Teddy Bridgewater approach.
Yeah, it is a little bit.
It's very similar to what
Definitely similar, except he's got 2 guys on the outside when you do play man-to-man, when Thielen and Diggs that Bridgewater didn't have, where you can go, ooh, okay, you want to play man-to-man on those guys, and, you know, Kirk can throw a deep ball and get it down the field.
Every team in the NFC North has a winning record, bringing us to the Bears offense.
And before we just leave that, because we'll go to the Bears offense, is the Vikings' very ugly way, in their own little ugly way, make you defend every square inch of the field. Same way. Might not be as sexy as like the Chiefs or the Cowboys.
Just talk about the Cowboys doing it with formations and motions.
Yeah, they do it with some of their formations, but it's this run here, that run here, this run here. Oh, we got a tight end screen over here. Oh, we got a back screen over here. You know, oh, we got a boot to. You better stay patient on the backside in the flat. We got a bootleg pass. So it might not be as pretty, but you're not going to be able to just go, oh, they do this and we can just stop this part of their offense. We're going to stop it. No. In their own little ugly way, they make you defend every part of the field.
I think it's noteworthy to point that out because you usually think about that.
With the high-flying offenses,
right? Exactly, with an
right.
aggressive quarterback putting up big numbers, and they're the opposite of that.
Yeah, they are. They're doing it with their own way to make you defend the whole field.
So Bears offense, in parentheses, maybe in all caps, Mitchell Trubisky is what we're really looking for here.
Yeah, I get it. And I don't feel any better after watching the Bears offense. I'm not going to sit here and go, oh, things are good, guys. Everything's been fixed.
Those
don't
who
worry.
point to his numbers that were good and the fact that they jumped out to a big lead.
Numbers were good. They jumped out to a big lead because their defense
helped a lot.
Right.
Yep.
They called a lot of short passes, little RPOs and things like that early on, and to manage Trubisky in the offense. And there's nothing wrong with that. I mean, there's nothing wrong with that. I mean, there's a lot of...
It's not going to work every week, though.
It probably will not work every week. I mean, you know, the first thing is I get a little sick of their RPO stuff, like the Redskins this week in the RPO. I mean, when they got in those kind of formations, they just played man-to-man. Okay, now you're throwing a slant into man-to-man? Whoa. I mean, why? Because the box is loaded up? And you don't run the ball that well enough to scare teams anyways. So that bothers me. I just don't know what they are on that side. But, you know, the other thing I'll say, too, where just going into, like you've heard me say, I think we overrate the Bears' talent. I think that's true. I mean, nobody's scared. This third game in a row, I've watched teams play the Bears wide receivers. They get up in their face and they go, we'll play you man-to-man. And the Redskins secondary has been torched the first 2 weeks, and they still had the confidence to go do that.
Right.
So that tells me through scouting and breaking teams down that they're not like teams aren't going, oh, gosh, we better be scared of Allen Robinson going for 70 over our head. No, they're not. So we've overrated their talent that way. O-line not playing well. Offense in general does not do anything scheme-wise where I just go, oh, gosh, this is really cool. They're basic in the run game. And Trubisky, he has to be better in the pocket, just like Baker Mayfield. He looks to escape to the outside way too much. Or he just doesn't have the patience to stand in the pocket and just slide and keep your eyes downfield and make the right throw. So that drives me crazy.
They don't let him do it often enough.
Probably not.
I think. I mean, maybe they completely don't trust him, but so much of their success seems manufactured
it is.
by motions and a great play call and an underneath. You know, hey, look, this pick worked. He's open 2 yards downfield.
Right. No, I wish they would.
Instead of just letting him drop back.
Yeah, let him drop back and go, hey, read this.
Yeah.
And if you read this guy, here's a 20-yard route, and if he plays that, you throw a post over. I wish they did have more of that in their offense.
Right.
But their offense is all over the place. Trubisky does have to play better within the pocket, decision-making, things like that. Like Baker Mayfield, I wrote down, I don't know if he knows when he's protected or not. You know, there was times where he's protected, but he's looking at the rush like, I'm not sure. And I want to go, damn, there's Allen Robinson down the middle. He's open. Right. If you just will pick your eyes up, it's going to be a 30-yard gain. But he's still trying to figure out, wait, did they block for me here? And by that time, the guy's not open by the time his eyes get up. So there's just too many of those plays in general. And, you know, the big thing is, their short crosses really were the big thing of the game. They just got a lot of easy completions on short crosses where the Redskins messed it up in man or zone, didn't pass it off the right way. But I don't feel any better about Mitchell Trubisky or the offense. And the interception in the end zone to Josh Norman, he predetermined he's going to throw a back shoulder throw. And Josh Norman played the back shoulder from the start. Read the play. Or how about just play the concept on the other side and stop looking just for the one-on-one jump ball? It just drives me crazy. Also, the other thing, last thing is Trubisky has a lean forward problem when he throws the ball. Okay, John, last time on the jib, I promise. He has a lean forward problem. He does this too much where, you know what I've talked about this a lot. You want to rotate, rotate. And when you throw, maybe you come forward out of just the rotation of the throw, but oh, you the man. Thank you, Matthew.
Thank you.
Right? So within the rotation of the throw, you might come forward. You see Tom Brady, he might go from here to here. right? But Mitchell Trubisky's doing this as he's throwing going forward like that. And that's never going to work. The ball's going to come out of your hand funny and go in different places. I noticed it in pregame warmups in Chicago and Green Bay in week 1. I saw it then. You can ask Matt Casey. I told him he's got some issues. I told my dad after the game, I was like, he leans forward to throw like he's a pitcher on the mound.
I think it's a natural thing to do. I did it my whole career.
Sure.
Until your dad, when I was in my 30s,
right,
at NFL Films, I said, watch me throw a pass.
Yeah.
Right away, he grabbed me and said, you're leaning forward.
Yeah.
He made me throw a bunch of passes with his hand in my chest to make me lean back. Right, because he made
you because it makes you stand your back leg and use your torque.
I think a lot of quarterbacks think just automatically go towards your target. Right. And they get their weight going too far forward and the ball takes off. It
takes off, or they throw it in the ground, or whatever it is.
Yeah. So maybe he needs you and you.
Well, I mean, whatever it is, he's capable of doing it the right way, because I see enough throws of him doing it the right way. But yeah, he's got to improve. There's no doubt.
All right, Panthers offense led by Kyle Allen.
Yeah,
looks surprisingly good.
Surprisingly good. Okay. Now I'm not going to sit here and anoint the guy king of the world quite yet or anything like that. Hey, another guy had a sack fumble. Could have been a little better in the pocket. It's first game, whatever. Either way. All right. This is the big thing. The Panthers played good on defense. The Panthers caused a few turnovers, no doubt about it. The Panthers stayed patient with the run. Early on, Allen just kind of took what was there to be had. He didn't do anything special. Oh, like you were just talking about with like Dallas. Oh, there's a 5-yard out. I'll throw the 5-yard out. Didn't try to do too much. And then plays started to kind of present themselves. And he just took advantage of them. Now, I said there, like looking at him, there's nothing special physically about him. So I don't think he's a threat to be the franchise quarterback for the Carolina Panthers. Maybe he proves me wrong. I hope he does. But his arm is below average NFL arm. Yeah. He's a below average NFL athlete too. But I will give him credit. He was very aggressive in his decision making, and he had great timing and rhythm to his throwing. And the TD pass. Let's see. He threw a TD pass. I'm trying to remember. I'm lost in my own thoughts here. I wrote he learned from his sack fumble. No one open, don't sit, get out of the pocket. Because he had a sack fumble early on in the game where nobody was open. He just sat there. He just like hopped in place. And Chandler Jones came around the edge eventually and sacked him and made him fumble. Yeah. The next time he got that same type of thing, he kind of he took that one bounce and was like, okay, nobody's open. I got to get out of dodge. And he ends up throwing a touchdown. Great job by him. I will say he got some really beneficial looks in the pass game. Arizona played a game where they said, we're going to stop the run game. We don't think Kyle Allen can beat us. Well, he did. He did. And they gave him too many opportunities to do that. But he had some great looks in the pass game. The in-cut TD pass to DJ Moore before the half was great. Just feel, coverage recognition, everything. It was perfect. Timing, accuracy, all good. But, like I said, they did play simple on that side of the ball. And it looked like to me that Arizona took like the no Cam cheese all the way. Oh, it's Cam. We don't need the Cam's not there. We don't need to be overly complicated. There was never a curveball thrown at Kyle Allen all day as far as game planning. And from that, like you've heard me say a million times, he was just always comfortable walking in the line of scrimmage. Oh, it's cover 3. Oh, it's man-to-man. He never really had to think that way. And the game really broke open. It's 21-20. And they're down 21-20. McCaffrey gets the long touchdown, 75-yard run. I mean, McCaffrey's unreal. Yeah. He really is. Run game, pass game, it's amazing. And then the defense got an interception the next drive. And then he threw his 4th touchdown pass to Olsen in the back of the end zone. Did a great job of in the pocket, kind of faded away just a little, okay, because he had a little pressure, and he realized, okay, I got Olsen on the back end line. He threw it high in like a spot where, okay, if he doesn't get it, it'll bounce off his hands and go into the stands or out of bounds. And he put the ball in the perfect spot, and Olsen caught it. So it was a really good job by him by just taking advantage of what was there to be had.
And the final newsreel item, 49ers just on offense.
I mean, the 49ers offense is a well-oiled machine. Okay, this would be my thing. This is the best game Jimmy G has played in 2 years.
Wow.
Yeah.
Why?
Because his throwing was on point. People are going to look at it and go, well, he threw 2 interceptions. He threw one interception into tight coverage, okay, and Hayden did a good job of kind of getting his ball in there, and it got intercepted. The other interception was a screen pass, and Matt Breida should catch it and batted the ball up in the air, and TJ Watt intercepted it. That wasn't his fault. But I thought just with the way he moved in the pocket and the quality of some of the throws he made were phenomenal. 49ers offense is amazing. I mean, it's just amazing, and I don't think...
You like watching it better than the Cowboys?
It's right up there with it. I think... Yeah, it's right up there with it. I think I might, because I think I enjoy Kyle's cracking of the code more.
Yeah.
You know, and they were unstoppable in the game. It's the most diverse run game in football. They tie their plays together so extraordinary well. It's unreal. The Steelers, their defense played hard. They realized it was a desperate game situation. They were crazed men. I mean, Tuitt, Bush, Bud Dupree, Minkah Fitzpatrick were all over the place. And they caused 5 turnovers. And they deserve credit. Even though the 49ers messed up some of those turnovers, they deserve some of the credit, the Steelers, too, because their defense was playing all out. They were killing people physically. I mean, they realized that they had to play a great game to win a football game, and they just weren't capable of doing that. But at no point did they ever stop the 49ers, really. I mean, it was the 49ers dropping fumbling a snap, or going into the score, running back fumbles. I mean, it was just one thing after another. But it speaks to a team, to how good they are when you can turn the ball over 5 times and still win a game. I would go, that's when you're scary.
Right.
That's when you're scary, okay? And I would just say, watch out for the 49ers, because I didn't know if they were going to be real or not. But after 3 weeks, they are real. The offense is phenomenal, and we're not even talking about their defense, which is the number 2 ranked defense in football through 3 weeks.
Yeah.
So that's it. I can't do any more newsreels, deep dives. That's all I got for you.
You know, inside this building, we've got rugby going on literally all hours of the day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know we do. I mean, yes, I do. I am aware of that. Why? Do we have people around me doing rugby? And I have to do my read. I have to get some traffic. Can you hold on? Hold that thought, okay? Okay, U.S. Rugby World Cup, you know it. It's on NBC. Here we go, NBC Sports Network and NBC Gold, NBC Sports Gold. But the USA starts their pool play Thursday versus England. Group of death.
Yes.
Don't mess with the group of death. 6:30 a.m. Eastern Time on NBC Sports Network. I'm so glad that that's 6:30 a.m. on Thursday, because I don't have to do the show tomorrow. No, Pro Football Talk. But stream all of the Rugby World Cup matches on NBC Sports Gold.
Where's the Tide?
The Tide? I don't have to do any more Tide, right? I'm good. I'm good.
You look at me like, what? All right.
Final thing?
Make me feel better.
Make me feel better.
We have 3 teams we're going to blaze through here.
Okay. Titans, offense has played really horrible, and you're 1-2 and not out of it, okay? And you still have a defense that's really good, okay? I'm not giving up on the Titans. I don't love their prospects. I think Marcus Mariota and the passing offense have been very average. And I think if we see a few more games like this, we could see Ryan Tannehill before it's all said and done. But there's still enough good things that I go, you're not out of it yet. Don't panic in Tennessee quite yet.
They play the Falcons on Sunday. Make me feel better about Atlanta.
Well, they still got Matt Ryan and an unbelievable group of 3 wide receivers. Now, Matt Ryan's just got to stop doing some stupid stuff, okay? And like you've heard me say a million times, I'd like to see their defense change things up just a hair on that side of the ball. Not that they need to reinvent the wheel, but really, I think when this offense and if Matt Ryan can just play his best and limit mistakes, they're going to be dangerous. You know, even though they were kind of outplayed by the Colts last week, there they were. They had a chance to win the game again. And Matt Ryan threw a really dumb red zone interception down the middle of the field, which, just not Matt Ryan-like to do that. For 3 weeks in a row, he's had some real head-scratching interceptions.
About the Chargers at 1-2.
Well, the Chargers, I mean, they should be 2-1. They blew the game against the Lions. So there's no time to panic there. Do they miss Melvin Gordon? They do. I know that. I mean, Austin Eckler fumbled on the 1-yard line against the Lions going in. I bet you Melvin Gordon would have scored.
Right.
There's been a few other runs where I just watch film of the Chargers and go, yeah, that was a 10-yard gain, but I think Melvin Gordon would have got more. And I'm not complaining, and their offense puts up numbers and stats so people don't realize it. But again, my big thing is always what's there to be had. And I think Melvin Gordon could take of more what's there to be had. But they still got difference makers on the offense. They got Phillip Rivers. They're pretty balanced. I mean, their offense has been moving the ball all 3 weeks. That's not been an issue. And they have playmakers on the edge of their defense, too. They're just a beat-up football team.
You know what the best thing is that they have?
Yeah.
The very best?
Yeah.
They play the Dolphins this week.
Oh, nothing like a preseason game in week 4 of the NFL season.
2-2.
2-2. Get you back on track.
Yeah.
The G-Bot game.
We just hexed them. They're going to be 1-3.
All right, here we go. All right, that's it. We're done. Subscribe, rate, review. You know where to find me. At CSimsQB on Twitter. At Simms Unbuttoned on Instagram. We are going to get to Ask Me Anythings at some point here. So if you want to keep throwing out your questions, we are going to get to that. People who are in charge here keep telling me that. We'll see when it happens. But for Paul Burmeister,
see you, man.
I'm Simms. Peace out. Hope you had fun. Hope you learned something. See you tomorrow with my picks with Mike Florio, our Week 4 picks. Peace.
You guys do that each Thursday?
Yo, what's up? Come on, man. Subscribe on YouTube to Chris Simms Unbuttoned Podcast. I need you. Please hit the subscribe button, please.